Welcome back to the lab, y'all. It is your old Professor Pilk, and today we are going to be talking about Iron Hands and the Tera Raids in general. Now, the new Tera Raids that are out for the for Iron Leaves and for Walking Wake are really interesting, and when we did the initial run here, we saw somebody run Iron Hands, and it wasn't a build that I had particularly spec'd into yet, but I've got my Iron Hands up to level 100. Iron Hands is a fighting type and an electric type, very well suited to this fight. But here's the deal with Iron Hands. Iron Hands actually has a hidden ability. For those of you guys that used Zoomerl on the Charizard raid, you already know what I'm talking about. And that is, let's just go ahead and go in here. That is Belly Drum. Belly Drum basically turns your Pokemon into a glass cannon. Maximizes its attack stat. Now, Iron Hands is a physical attacker. So that's a huge function of this. That physical attack, and I've actually, if I'm fair here, let me just go back into my summary. I have done some EV, well, no, actually, take it back. I have not done EV training. I thought I had. Something else I'd done EV training on. So actually, I had not done EV training on this. So these are just the stats that you get as of current. There are some EVs here, but that's literally just for me doing random fights. I'm going to have to remove the special attack, and especially the speed on this, because those are not huge factors in this. HP and regular attack are really what you're going to want to do. So I'm going to have to go do some EV training. Check out my video on EV training to know how to handle that situation. In fact, this is a really good example of how you can remove EVs. And I don't know if I really talked about that, so that actually might be worth discussing here shortly. But nevertheless, what you're going to do is, in this situation, you're going to open up with Belly Drum. Okay? Or actually Electric Terrain. You probably want to open with Electric Terrain, because once you do Belly Drum, you're kind of leaving yourself out in the open. So open with Electric Terrain. In fact, let me just go ahead and rearrange our moves here. So, turn 1, you're going to do Electric Terrain. Turn 2, you're going to do Belly Drum. Right? Because once you do Belly Drum, your HP is halved. At that point, you are, in essence, saying, I am looking to end this fight, and I'm looking to end it quickly. Remember, Electric Terrain is going to give you the opportunity to do a lot more damage with your Electric-type units. So Electric Terrain is a really powerful move here. Finally, you're going to come in with Thunder Punch. Now, when I did this the other day, I believe the one I recommended, and let's go back in here to moves. I believe I recommended Wild Charge. And here's the problem with Wild Charge. Wild Charge, while extremely powerful, I mean very powerful, number one, it has recoil. In fact, that's the big downside to it. It has recoil. And the problem with recoil is if you do not finish the Mon off on that first hit, if you do not one-shot the Mon, then you're sitting duck. You are absolutely, like, you already cut your HP down by half. You're taking your HP down even more. Any move at that point, a really good move, could take you out. So Wild Charge, while it on paper did look like a good option, I completely forgot about the recoil, and the recoil is the Achilles heel of this maneuver. So, open with Electric Terrain, turn 2 Belly Drum, and then spam Thunder Punch. I haven't even had to PP train Thunder Punch. In my testing, Thunder Punch has done phenomenal. It should, in a good situation, one-shot your opponent, but that kind of requires support where people are lowering attacks. So let's actually jump in here. Now, I don't have my version of Scarlet ready to actually run this. I got to do some transfers and some work on that, but I do have the ability to go into the Poke Portal, and we can go to our Tera Raids. Now, sometimes it takes a few minutes to find it, so I'm going to jump right to it. But we can go in here, we can find a Tera Raid for Walking Wake and give this a shot. So, in fact, there's one right here, but it probably will not communicate. So, let's jump over to that run here real quick, and yeah, let's give it a shot, see what happens. Okay, so we're going to give this a try. We're going to try out the strategy here with Iron Hands. It looks like someone else actually has Iron Hands on this team. But we'll see what happens here. I would love to run this solo, but I actually don't have this Iron Hands on my version of Scarlet. So I honestly may just need to see if one of my friends who has Scarlet can do this for us. But for now, let's give this a shot, and let's see if this other person is actually using the same build. Now, we do have a Miraidon on this team as well. Man, my green screen is acting up today. Woo! My apologies for that. They do have Miraidon that might affect things, but let's kind of play this by ear and see what happens. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if this other person has electric terrain, but I'm going to open up with electric terrain. Ooh, actually, we don't need to, because I forgot that is essentially the skill on Miraidon. So actually, we don't need to. That actually was one of the things that helped out our run prior when we did this. Now, initially, when I talked about this before, wow, look at that. Miraidon's already just absolutely giving them the works. I'm going to belly drum anyway. And I want to see how much damage we're able to produce here, assuming we get a shot at this. Okay. Here we go. And Thunder Punch. Now, Thunder Punch is really important because it does not have... Oh, he's already putting up his barrier. So my Thunder Punch is going to go in a little bit later, it looks like. Did Thunder Punch even go through? It may have just happened so quickly we didn't even see it. That, or the game is just lagging that hard because we're wrecking this dude out. I think it's what it is. I think it's just lagging. So Thunder Punch does not have the recoil action, which is a major factor here. That recoil action can actually cause you immense damage. But look how much we're hurting him, even without our Tera type. So if we were terastallized, this would be kind of a done deal. I don't know why he's only belly drumming now. There we go. Good news is he's paralyzed, so this is a thing. But you can see how much damage that belly drum does. And he's already dead. So definitely hitting with do belly drum and then do Thunder Punch. I think it was Thunder Wave. I have to go back and look at it again. I think it's Thunder Wave that was the thing I recommended before. But that in my testing, I completely forgot that has recoil. And in certain situations, like that, if you don't get the killing blow off immediately, that can absolutely devastate your run. So, you know, as you see here, if you've got belly drum and you've got thunder punch on your unit, I like to put electric terrain on there because once again, electric terrain is going to improve overall the damage that you're outputting. But by and large, totally unnecessary. Now we're going to come back to we're talking about another Pokemon that I think actually can handle the Iron Leaves Tera Raid in a very similar fashion. But that is actually going to be a video for tomorrow. So if you want to see that, like, comment, share. I'll be back with more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news for you guys here very soon.